What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Wednesday, September 18th, 2024, and we are back with another stream here on the Torian Rain Reloaded channel. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. And if you are new to the channel, I'm glad that you are all here. Hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live. Shout out to all of the mods, all of the members, everybody on Patreon. Shout out to everybody on X, on Instagram, and in Discord, and everyone who sends me stories. I greatly appreciate it. So we have a very interesting topic that we are going to be doing today. I'm giving a disclaimer right now. I will not be dropping the link today, which is why I do not have the Discord pinned at the top. Let that just kind of be a, I guess you can say, what's the word that I'm looking for? A hint to let you know that I will be dropping the link in the Discord if I have the Discord link pinned right there at the top, but I won't be dropping it today. It's one of those topics where I'm going to hold this one a little close to the vest. But y'all are free to, of course, leave your comments in the chat below, as I know you will, as well as in the comments if you are part of the replay gang. But before we go ahead and get started, let's acknowledge the people who are here. We have Dimple Face, Hackson KT, Firebat, Gene, Harvey, Stay Well, DeMarcus Vaughn, Brother Man, Derry B, Robert Brown, Denise Scales, DSA1, Letitia, Reparations Nation, and then we have DSB doing what he does best, gifting out these memberships. Shout out to Yama. Go ahead and acknowledge those as I go down the list. We got Annette. We got Maxic. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, but shout out to you, Tia, to you, Joy, Derek Parker, We Next DSB. But shout out for the super chat. I'm gonna acknowledge it once I get to these names. Don P, Zabon, the Church of Black Power, Mr. Williams. So I see the gifted memberships right here. We got Mrs. Lore, Base Powered Media, DJ B-Side 1965, Sherry Mitchell, and Shatira. We got Sean Stovall, David O, Rosalind, and Dimple Face. Shout out to all of the people that are here so far, and also shout out to DSB for the super chats as well. And I also got a new drop for the people who become members.
Welcome to the Brotherhood.
Finally, I was trying to find one for the longest to do for the members, because I wanted to keep the members and the super chats and the Cash App donos separately. But shout out to everybody that is here so far. So today we are going to be talking about JD Vance and this apparent lie that he told as it pertains to that pet eating thing that 45 mentioned at the first debate about a week and a half ago that had the internet going crazy. I mean, literally going crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. I will not lie. It actually made me chuckle a little bit because it was so random. It came out of nowhere, and then I think it's because it came from him. That's what made it even like funnier. But then when you look at it, it's like, okay, now the joke is kind of over. Shout out to AW1 for also gifting one membership to NLR Forever. I appreciate it, and I'm sure they appreciate it as well.
Welcome to the Brotherhood.
Shout out to you. So basically what we're going to go over this clip with JD Vance in this interview that he did with Dana Bash over at CNN, where he basically admitted that they created this story, and the reasoning that he gave as to why he created the story is even more egregious than him creating up this narrative. Then we have an article. Then I'm gonna play another video, and shout out to Rob because he provided me the link to this particular video from where that narrative probably came from or how it got viral. Oh, DSB is just on it today. They gifting out more memberships. So we got Z the Guy, Zaina, Hebzibah Israel, Y Denise, and C Archer. I appreciate that, and I'm sure they do as well.
Welcome to the Brotherhood.
Don B, the membership button, you have to, in order to access it, you have to be on a desktop or a laptop. You can't access the membership through a phone. I wish that's something they would do and update through the app, where you can, if you want to become a member, that you can join through the phone and not have to be on an iPad, not an iPad or a tablet or a laptop or a desktop. But for right now, that's how you got to do it. So if you want to become a member of the channel, you have to be on a desktop or a laptop, because the join button is not on the phone, or not through the app, I should say. So shout out to each and every one of you. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this clip. It's about 2 minutes and 6 seconds long. It's actually a longer clip, but this part right here is where he actually admits to what this lie. First off, before I even play the clip, put a 1 in the chat if you've seen this clip that I'm about to show y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen this clip. Put a 2 if you have not. If this is your first time hearing about it. If this is your first time seeing it, rather, I should say. Don said 2. Alicia said 1. Wallow J said 2. Hacksign 2. Okay, so it's a lot of 2s in here. So this is gonna be very interesting then. This is gonna be very, very interesting. So without further ado, let me go ahead and play the clip, and y'all can see it and hear it for yourself.
Just once and for all, you again started this in part by saying that, which Donald Trump repeated on the debate stage, that, and he didn't say anything about the policies that you're talking about. He just said Haitians are eating dogs and cats. Can you affirmatively say now that that is a rumor that has no basis with evidence?
Dana, the evidence is the firsthand account of my constituents who are telling me that this happened. And by the way, I've been trying to talk about the problems in Springfield for months, and the American media ignored it. There was a congressional hearing just last week of angel moms who lost children because Kamala Harris let criminal migrants into this country who then murdered their children. The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes.
Let me just stop right there. And Dimpleface, you caught it, like I stopped it right where your comment popped up, because you said exactly what I was getting ready to say. He did not answer the question. She simply asked him, can you now confirm, and I'm just paraphrasing, that what you said about Haitian Americans eating animals, can you now say that that was not true? And then he goes off into this whole narrative. This is why I keep telling people, or calling people like JD Vance, politrictions. It was a yes or a no answer. It did not require this elongated response that has nothing to do with the question being asked. Now, he's going to actually admit it. He's going to actually finally say it. But the fact that he started it off like that already lets you know that he did indeed make up this story. Because if he didn't, he would have said, no, I did not make this up. This is actually indeed true. And here's my proof. Also notice, and shout out to Rob for this as well, because Rob was talking about this on his channel, I think yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, where some woman, some PC woman called into Jesse Lee Peterson, of all people, and was talking about this too. And she was saying sort of the same type of things that JD Vance is saying right now. And when asked, did you have any proof of these people doing what you're claiming? She said in so many words, no, then followed up with a but and said, I heard. I said, after that, I don't need to hear anything else. I don't need to hear I heard. I need to hear that, yes, it did, or no, it didn't. But if I do hear that it did happen, I need definitive proof that this did occur. Because that's a very, 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 very obscure lie to make up about a group of people. And it has no basis in truth whatsoever. No one wants to hear anybody eating, like basically being cannibalistic.
If I have to,
But it
if I
wasn't
have
just a
to
meme.
create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana, because you guys are completely letting Kamala Harris coast. You had one interview with her. You talk about pushing back against me, Dana. You didn't push back against the fact that she cast the deciding vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which is why a lot of Americans can't afford food and housing.
You just
We
said that
ought
you're
to be
creating
talking
a
about
story.
public policy.
Sir, you just said that you're creating the story.
What's that, Dana?
You just said that this is a story that you
Yes.
created. So then
He just admitted it. She just said you're creating stories, and he just said yes. You heard him say, he said yes. If I have to create stories, again, politicians. This is why I don't trust none of them.
the eating dogs
We
and
are
cats thing is not
we are
accurate.
creating, we are, Dana, it comes from firsthand accounts from my constituents.
He said firsthand counts from his constituents. Yet he doesn't say who these constituents are. He doesn't. He doesn't say what was going on. There's no proof. There's like no proof. It's all hearsay. And the ironic thing of them being Haitians. Remember what happened when the Haitians were trying to come over here a couple years ago. What happened when they were chased off with horses and whips. And the crazy thing about it is, how is it that it even got to this narrative that it was Haitians? The irony, y'all. The irony of it all.
I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media focusing on it. I didn't create 20,000 illegal migrants coming into Springfield thanks to Kamala Harris's policies. Her policies did that. But yes, we created the actual focus that allowed the American media to talk about this story and the suffering caused by Kamala Harris's.
So there it is right there. That's why it caught so many people off guard when 45 said that at that debate, because we was like, huh? What in the world is he talking about? It was such a random thing to be brought up. And the crazy part about it is he knew that people was going to latch onto it and believe it. A few days ago, I posted up a Patreon video about this woman. It was a black woman. And it was the story that she was devouring, I'll put it like this, a cat. Those who are on Patreon, y'all got the video. But when I was looking at the comment section, it was so many people in there going back and forth with each other saying, I heard she's FBA. Wait, no, I heard she's Haitian. No, I think she's FBA. I heard she's Haitian. Now, I put a disclaimer under that caption saying that I recorded that video about 3 weeks before the debate happened. That video was recorded on August the 19th. The debate happened, a week and a half ago. It's just that the way that the video fell, it got released after the debate, and that wasn't intentional. It just fell the way that it did. So it even got some of the people who commented under that confused. This is what I'm saying. I say just a big ball of confusion right here. I said it is so sad that people actually fell for that. So there it is right there. But I never trusted JD Vance as far as I could throw him anyway. When I found out he was Trump's VP pick, I was like, oh my God. Then I started to do some research into this guy, and I was like, I literally hung my head in shame. So there's the video right there. Now I'm gonna pull up the article that was posted 3 days ago on this website on nj.com. Oh my God, these ads. Calls for JD Vance to resign after he admits that he created the pet eating story about immigrants. And how ironic that while they did say about the immigrants, they immediately diverted to the Haitians. It says just about every time JD Vance, the most unpopular vice presidential nominee in American history, opens his mouth, he ignites a firestorm of criticism and likely shaves another point off the Republican presidential ticket's polling numbers. On Sunday, in an interview with CNN's Dana Bash, Vance admitted that he and Donald Trump made up a baseless and racist story about Haitian immigrants eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. If I have to create stories so that the American media actually has to pay attention to the suffering of American people, then that's what I'm going to do, said Vance, a U.S. senator representing Ohio. That is a direct quote from him. Let me read it again. If I have to create stories so that the American media actually has to pay attention to the suffering of American people, then that's what I'm going to do. That means, you know what that tells me? If he would make this up, he'll make up anything, and they'll put it out there and people will fall for it. If y'all don't understand how dangerous that is, I don't know what to tell you. Let's look past this whole thing that briefly that he put out there. If they wanted to make up anything, which I'm getting from this quote, they could. They know people will believe it, especially if it's about a particular group or a particular looking group, and people will fall for it, and they know it. Remember, 45 did call his supporters stupid or dumb or whatever it was. That's the part right there, this part that I have highlighted in yellow, that's the part people should really be focused on. Ironically, Vance's attempt to point out imagined suffering has led to actual suffering by his own constituents. Vance eventually told Bash to shut up about the rumor that is part of racist verbal attacks on Haitians, marches in the town by the white nationalist Proud Boys, bomb and shooting threats at closed schools, and Donald Trump's insistence that he'll visit the town and eventually save it with mass deportations if reelected. Trump and Vance have been criticized and mocked for the bizarre story and have not been able to produce a single person with evidence that their pet has been eaten by Haitian immigrants. When confronted with his assertion that he created a story, Vance, after a long pause on air silence, backpedaled, saying he created the American media focusing on it and continued to insist that the story came from firsthand accounts, which has been proven false. Ohio State Representative Casey Weinstein tweeted that Vance, an Ohio senator, should resign. Hundreds of other similar demands were made on social media. In the wake of JD Vance's admitting he created the pet eating story, and as a result of the very real threat that the communities and people he has targeted are now under, I am calling on him to resign, and they put resign in all caps, as our senator. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who followed Vance on CNN, was asked to respond to Vance's assertions. That was bonkers, Shapiro said. Listen, Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, and the mayor of Springfield has said this is all made up. These are all lies. There is no truth to it. And the U.S. senator from Ohio just came on your show and blamed his own constituents for his own lies. This guy is so pathetic. But the thing is, it is dangerous. There is a casual connection between the BS that JD Vance and Donald Trump spew on the safety and security of the American people when they go out and they lie about this stuff. They put their fellow Americans at risk. Shapiro added, this has now taken on a life of its own because of what they incited, and people's lives are at risk because of JD Vance. This guy should know better. It's shameful what he did. And that's that article right there. So after hearing that, I want to see what y'all saying in the chat. How do y'all feel about that? Again, keep in mind this quote right here. If I have to create stories so that the American media actually has to pay attention to the suffering of American people, then that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, that is some very diabolical rhetoric to blatantly put out there and really have no shame in doing it, which means at this point, we should not believe a thing that comes out of JD Vance's mouth from here on out. Not that I believed it in the first place, but if I was a believer of him, if I used all portions of my brain, I wouldn't believe anything after this. So now that we've handled that, I'm gonna play this this video. Now, this video doesn't deal with, actually has something to do with the narrative that was put out there at the Springfield City Commission meeting. Hold on, I had to refresh the page right quick because a little thing came up and said out my audio went out. Now, when y'all look at this guy right here on the screen, this guy right here, does he look familiar to you? Put a 1 in the chat if this guy looks familiar to you. Put a 2 if he does not. And while I do that, let me play this. All right, Ms. Nisi says she saw this video. Anthony said 2. Grace said 1. Rosalind said 2. Dub said 1. Don said 1. Denise said 1. Church of Black Power said 1. Yeah. So this is the guy right here who went viral. I want to say, now this happened before the debate too. That's why I was under the impression that when I heard what 45 had said, I thought it came from him. But he was the one that spoke at this meeting, putting out there that there were cats and dogs being eaten or something like that. But it turns out he's coming out now because he's realizing that what he put out there wasn't true, and he wasn't expecting. See, when 45 got on that debate stage and said that, he was like, oh, damn, I got to come out now and try to clean this up. And when I tell you, because I heard this already, the amount of babbling this dude is going to do is going to make your head spin. So for those of y'all who did not see this, be prepared. Let me make sure that I got my my playback correct. Now, you heard what he just said. He didn't say these immigrants. He said these Haitians. So now this guy is very specific. He said these Haitians. He didn't say these immigrants. So when you say immigrants, it's very vague. You don't really know who he's talking about, what group. But here, this man said these Haitians. Let me run it back. Y'all said no sound? Oh my God. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me try this again.
These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings.
Can y'all hear? Did y'all hear that part? Did y'all hear the part where he said these Haitians are running into trash cans, they're running into buildings? Okay. You had to close it out and then open it back up. Cool. All right, let's do it.
These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into they flipping cars in the middle of the street.
Now listen to that, y'all. He said Haitians, specifically Haitians. He did not say immigrants. He said Haitians. They're going into buildings. They're going into trash cans. Then he says they're flipping over cars. I need somebody who lives out in Ohio. Can someone confirm, excuse me, or deny this for me? Because this doesn't even sound remotely true. Is there somebody out there who lives near or around Springfield, Ohio, who can confirm or deny this? Because I don't believe that. So if y'all want to know where the Haitian part came in,
Teach them culture. You know what I'm saying? Teach them traffic. Do that. Get an American orientation thing before y'all try to just bring a different culture to a different culture, and then cultures clash, and then people don't understand shit. That's like a.
So let's see. His title is his name is Anthony Harris. He's a Springfield, Ohio resident, and he's an influencer. That is his title.
Conquer, divide, and shit, and making people dislike people for no reason, and it's fucked up. It's really fucked.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Springfield, Ohio. And folks, you never know who you might bump into in Springfield. I'm with Anthony Harris, and you might recall Anthony Harris making a passionate presentation to Springfield City Council. Here, check it out.
A bunch of people on the bus getting dropped off at the gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me tonight, FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them.
So Anthony,
if someone was to come to me telling me that, I would be like, okay, I need some kind of proof. As crazy as that sounds, I need proof of that actually happening. I couldn't take someone's word for that, but it's crazy how many people took and ran with it. Now, like I told you, I've already watched this. Just like as the video progresses, the guy literally is going to reveal himself. He's literally going to reveal himself.
you and many other residents of Springfield, Ohio, have been speaking out about aspects of the Haitian migrant situation here in the city.
Everyone is talking about the death of ducks and cats in this town, but I'd like to talk about the death of one very special person, my mother-in-law, Kathy Heaton. On December 1st, I received a phone call that changed my life forever. She was collecting her trash can from her driveway when a car struck and killed her instantly. A task she had done over 2,000 times, spanning 4 decades in Springfield. That morning, though, a Haitian immigrant was allegedly driving recklessly when he struck and killed her.
First of all,
understand what's happening, y'all. This now is putting the Haitian group, I'll just say Haitian community, under a very thick microscope, and not a good one. Well, anytime anyone's under a microscope, that's not good. But it's putting them now under a very heavy microscope. Notice ever since this happened, we haven't really heard of any more about those Venezuelans in Colorado. I'm just saying.
Did you expect such a fallout in terms of media coverage, in terms of former President Trump mentioning this on the debate a few nights ago?
What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
What are your thoughts?
Now, while 45 did not mention what group he was talking about when he said that, him giving the location, which was Springfield, Ohio, and him saying eating the dogs, eating the pets, eating the cats, and this guy saying Haitians are eating these animals, that pretty much put together 2 and 2 together that's what group he was talking about. Because I saw someone in the chat earlier saying, well, 45 didn't say Haitians. He just said immigrants. I'm going to need people to put their thinking caps on.
Be careful what the fuck you ask for. I was concerned for the people in Springfield, Ohio. I was concerned for their safety. I was concerned for the amount of traffic accidents. I was concerned that a lot of stuff was different that was going on that the city, I feel like in Springfield, wasn't handled correctly. Main concern was definitely the accidents in traffic, which was nonstop. that I actually documented, and I thought it was like obscene. I'm like, man, you know, we all have family out here in traffic, and the way that I don't know I don't know how it's working with the traffic shit, but a lot of people didn't know how to drive, and a lot of people were getting into wrecks.
And we know for certain that tragically, an elementary school age child was killed in a traffic
I don't
accident.
think their family want to keep having that mention.
That is indeed what they've said. They don't want it to be politicized. What's that?
You just said it.
Well, I did, but
Now, see what this guy just did right here. Now, to this man's credit, this Anthony Harris guy's credit, I'll give him credit on this one. So there's this family that apparently their child was taken out by a Haitian immigrant, allegedly. I'll put it like that. And this guy Anthony Harris said, I don't think the family wants this to be politicized. But this guy right here, the host, bought it up in an attempt to politicize it. Again, notice now all these stories about the Haitians are popping up and painting them in a very, very, very bad light. Because it starts with this narrative that they're eating these house pets, and then it spreads into, oh, they are taking people out. Then it'll spread into something else, and then there's something else, and then something else, and then that's how you build your propaganda steps. You know how I know about this? Because as a foundational Black American, we are, you know what, as FBA, for those of us who are FBA in this chat, we have dealt with this and still deal with this to this day. We know how it is to be propagandized as a community by mainstream media. That's why when I see this, it's easy to identify and pick apart because we've dealt with it for so long.
I'm just trying
let's
to
just go to the next one because they said they don't want to talk about it.
Okay, fair enough.
Just respectfully, like, just don't even put that because their family started that.
I'm just trying to help you make your case about
okay,
traffic.
Okay, you have a valid point.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, Anthony, certainly the most sensational thing about what's happening in Springfield, Ohio, allegedly, is Haitians capturing wildlife, capturing pets, using them for food, using them for ritualistic sacrifice.
Nobody ever said that. I don't know who the fuck said something about some cats or dogs. Okay. I don't know nothing about no cats or no dogs, bro. Okay. I never seen no cats or no dogs. None of that shit happening. I never seen that shit in real life. I heard a motherfucker saying cats is coming up missing, but I ain't never seen that shit in real life, bro. Oh God.
Then why did you go to this town hall meeting or wherever this was at and saying that you saw people eating ducks? See, that's what I'm getting. Y'all, we are 4 minutes and 48 seconds into a 13-minute and 30-second video, and I'm already annoyed. Why would you get out there and make up this narrative then? Because you know mainstream media is going to take it, run with it, spin it, and flip it, and turn it into something that they want to. Now you got to stand up here and literally try to defend what you said, even though you know it made no sense. And I'm gonna get to the super chats at the end. I just want to get through this video.
What the fuck was we talking about? I'm all over the place. I've never seen that shit happen in motherfucking real life. All I said was,
look what he just said. Hold on, let me go back.
In real life, bro. Oh God. What the fuck was we talking about? I'm all over the place. I've never seen that shit happen in motherfucking real life.
He never seen it happen in real life. But you got up there and said they were eating ducks in the park or something along those lines. I know it was a duck involved. Y'all, what we're looking at is a clout chaser. This is a person out here who is just thriving and thirsting for attention. Hence his title of influencer.
All I said was, people are in the parks getting ducks and grabbing them up by the head and cutting them off and walking off and eating them because this is a rumor going around the city.
I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand.
I brought it to.
Now look at that. Yeah, somebody calling in and say they saw a group of about 4 Haitian people with geese in their hand. People pull out their phones to record anything, but something like that. Oh, I can't do that, but I'll call and say what I did see. I need to see some definitive proof that this is going on. Hearsay ain't cutting it.
to the attention of the city council who needs to look into it. I did not know the whole fucking world, even the BBC News, Fox, ABC, Dr. Phil. I didn't know all these motherfuckers was going to come in to look at this. I'm going to tell y'all just like this. I ain't never seen no motherfucker.
You an influencer and you didn't know that they was going to latch onto this? You're a so-called influencer. Your job, quote unquote, is to do just about anything to go viral. So this was your viral moment, and you didn't think that in the midst of a huge election cycle and with an influx of immigration going on right now, well, not even illegal immigration, let me put that in there, that this was not going to get out there in this close to the election. You did not think that was going to happen. And it just happened to be a group of Haitians that were the focal point. Oh, you knew they was going to latch on to that. They've been talking about these illegals for the better part of the last year. What did you think, that they was not going to talk about this?
Motherfucker eat no cat or no dog. I don't know where that came from. I never said that shit. So I don't know nothing about it. If I knew something about it, I would have said something about it. I never said no shit like that. I don't know where that came from.
Well, you know, Anthony, that is exactly why we've driven 10 hours to Springfield, Ohio. We want to find out what's true, what's false. Anthony.
None of it's true. I'll put it like that. Until proven otherwise, none of it's true.
I guess the question arises, do you regret addressing Springfield City Hall?
Yeah, I will never help these niggas a day in my life. I will never help people a day in my life again. You know what? I see why people are selfish. I see why people only worry about themselves. I see why people don't help people. I see why people stay to their own self. I see why there are introverts. I see why this world is really honestly fucked up. A motherfucker that got out here that really tried to help his community because motherfuckers were wrecking non-fucking stop, and then you got to deal with all this bullshit? I don't like this shit. I wanted to be an influencer. I wanted to do what Kyson and Drewski doing.
There it is. There it is, y'all. I wanted to be an influencer. I wanted to do what Kai Cenat and Drewski are doing. I don't think that they are going out there saying that people are eating wildlife in the park. At least not to my knowledge. I don't follow them like that. You could have done anything to be an influencer, but you get in front of City Hall and say that you heard that people were out in the park eating ducks. And now that it has gone viral, now you are out here copping pleas, getting an attitude, getting sassy, and getting upset because people are now pulling your coattail and like, look, dude, look what you did. Church, he is very triggered. I have it sped up for a reason, but he's very triggered. Cussing every other word, raising his voice. Just own up to what you did. Say that you were wrong. It's nothing wrong with apologizing. I don't know how much the apology is going to mean now, but just at least be a man and own up to what you said and how that affected other people. Because you are, first off, you're a black man. You should know better. You should know what propaganda looks like and how it could affect you, especially as a black man in this establishment.
I wanted to do what fucking Duke Dennis is doing, what all them is doing. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help this community. I seen that people were wrecking consistently. People were getting hurt. I did not want that to happen to me or none of my loved ones. And I don't know how to fuck.
You said you care about your community. You didn't want anybody to get hurt. You could have did anything. You could have done anything other than what you did. I'm sure there were avenues you could have taken to take care of this issue that you said is an issue other than get up in front of City Hall and say what you said. That didn't, what problem did you solve? What resolution did you come to by doing that? None.
Cats and dogs arose from that shit. I said something about some goose because people were in the fucking park concerned with their kids because they seen a motherfucker do it. So I brought it to City Hall's attention. Thank you for all the people that actually gave a fuck, but I ain't never seen no fucking cat and dog get ate in my life, and I never fucking said that. I said something about a goose, and somebody told me they see somebody grab a fucking goose up and cut his fucking head off, and that's what the fuck I said. But
listen to what, now there it is again. He just said someone told him. He said someone told him that someone was grabbing up a goose and knocking its head off and doing whatever. He didn't personally see it. So you took the word of someone and you wanted to go and play Mr. Run Tell That, and you ran your ass to City Hall like you was the shade room to say, well, guess what I heard? He must think he's, you know what? He might be kin to Benita Betrell. Those who understand and who know and live in color know the Benita Betrell. I ain't one to gossip, but you ain't heard that from me. That's exactly what he did. You heard. Let me run that back again.
With their kids because they seen a motherfucker do it. So I brought it to City Hall's attention. Thank you for all the people that actually gave a fuck, but I ain't never seen no fucking cat and dog get ate in my life, and I never fucking said that. I said something about a goose, and somebody told me they see somebody grab a fucking goose up and cut it.
Somebody told him. Somebody told him. Well, here's the thing here. Well, why didn't you get the person that told you this to come down with you to City Hall and let them explain their story? You went and you took the word of someone with this wild story, ran with it, and then ran down to City Hall and told them. And now you trying to clean up your narrative.
Cut his fucking head off. And that's what the fuck I said. But when you ask me, do I regret it? Hell yeah, I would never help a motherfucker a day in my life. Like, let alone a whole community. Help a whole community, and this is what the fuck I got to deal with. Hell no, I won't help.
Let's be real here. You said you're an influencer and so on and so forth. And you said I will never help another person again. By anyone else, are you also including yourself? Because let's be honest with ourselves here. You weren't doing this to help anybody except yourself. This was a self-serving act that this dude pulled off or tried to pull off but failed. This was a guy looking for his 15 minutes of fame. He knew that story he heard was some BS, and he ran with it and went down to City Hall and told him, but didn't expect 45 to get up on that debate stage and say it. And now people are going right back to the source of where they heard about it at from him, and now he's trying to clean it up, and he can't even do it.
Nobody. I help who matters to me, because I thought the city of Springfield, I thought it mattered to me. I thought the people mattered to me, and they do.
And see, now, here's what he's also doing, y'all. He's now shifting and pivoting blame from himself onto the people. So now it's the community's fault that your lie blew up in your face. It's not the community's fault. It's your fault. You went out there and you put out this narrative and expected people to believe it. And because people don't, and they now know it's not true, and I don't know what kind of messages they're sending you or whatever the case may be, it's not their fault that they're mad and upset with you. It's your fault that they are mad and upset with you.
They honestly fucking do. But like when bullshit comes up and narratives get twisted, and it's like, it's odd. It's really fucked up though. Because I really give a fuck. And I really don't want nobody out here getting killed in a car accident. I really gave a fuck. I gave a fuck. But yes, I regret trying to help a whole fucking community. I won't help these niggas a day again in my life. If I got to deal with all this shit, I try to help y'all to try to better it, to make shit safe for everybody. And then we got to deal with motherfucking schools getting closed down. We got to deal with motherfucking all the government buildings getting closed down. We got to do interviews at the police station because weird shit is going on. I don't want to deal with that shit from trying to help some people, for trying to keep people safe. I don't like that shit. I don't want to deal with this shit. I don't like it. All I was doing is trying to help the community and trying to help so people stay safe right here in these streets. And it went left. I don't know about no fucking cats and dogs. I ain't never heard of nobody eating no cats and dogs. Only people I ever heard eating cats and dogs are people at Chinese restaurants, and that's what everybody ever heard. I've heard that shit. Everybody else heard that shit. I'm speaking on what the fuck I heard. I'm not politically correct, and I'm going.
He keeps saying it. I spoke on what I heard, not on what he knows, but what he heard. You don't speak on something that you heard about. You speak on what you have facts on. This dude has no integrity at all. None. None. Indo 1977, he said, if it was an honest mistake, why are you so upset? That's because it wasn't a mistake. Again, this dude went out there with the intention to put something out there. He said he heard. And again, like he said, put the source on blast. Then that's my question. Who did you hear this from? Who told you this? I think that's the bigger question here. If I was if he was sitting in front of me talking to me right now, that would be one of my main questions. Who told you this? Who did you hear this from? Who told you that? And after we find out who told you, I would ask them, why didn't you take them down to City Hall to explain themselves or explain what they saw? Or why did they have any proof that Haitians were doing what they allegedly claimed was going on?
I say exactly how I feel, and that's what got people to understand what I was saying, because I said how we all talk, and I said something that we all can understand. I don't know where all this extra narrative shit came from. Cats and dogs. Donald Trump, man, hey man, I'm gonna say this. Can Donald Trump send me some fucking money, bro? Oh God, Donald Trump, bro, you did this shit, bro. I'm not mad at you, Donald Trump, bro. Send me some money or get in contact with me. Elon Musk, call me too, bro. Y'all got motherfuckers out here saying cats and dogs. You're not.
Oh. Did this guy just say Donald Trump reach out to me, send me some money? Elon Musk send me some money. What is going on here? What is going on? What's going on, Lewis? What is really going on? Did this guy really just say Donald Trump, send me some money, bro? Elon Musk, send me some money, bro. What? This guy's a clown. Oh man, now I'll admit to y'all, the reason why that part was so funny to me is because I don't think I got this far into the video when Rob was going over it. I think I probably left, so that this part caught me off guard. Why are you asking Donald Trump and Elon Musk for some money? Brother man said he said notice that the speaker smiled. I would have laughed in his face too. This guy's a clown. I mean, we already knew that, but man, this guy is applying to be a part of someone's three-ring circus. He asking for some money because he put this narrative out there, and because Donald Trump put it out, like in a way, put it out there for the world to see on that debate stage, and now he feels like he should get some credit for it.
Eating cats and dogs, I ain't never seen that shit, bro.
Anthony,
that shit. Y'all owe me a bag, bro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Y'all owe me a bag. All I did was trying to help my community and keep my community safe, bro.
Owe him a bag. Yeah. He will see that bag on the 31st of February.
Y'all done did some other shit. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, both holla at me, bro. Y'all done did some extra shit, bro. I just trying to help the community, try to keep the streets safe, try to keep motherfuckers and their kids from getting ran into.
And then
went left.
One last question for you. Speaking of the community, there's all kinds of sensational stories. That's why we're here, to find out what's true, what's false. Tell me, can you give me your thoughts on why this small city, it's a population of just over 50,000, brought in so many Haitian migrants? It's estimated anywhere between 12 and 20,000. Different culture. Most of them don't speak English. What was the reason for them coming to Little Springfield, Ohio in the first place? And is this going to cause further tensions in the months and years down the road?
I'm gonna be real with y'all. As I've been going through this fucking journey, I've been learning a lot of shit. I seen John Legend say that the Springfield population was declining. So I guess the city of Springfield or Ohio reached out to some people. I don't know who the fuck they call it.
We had about 15,000 or so immigrants move to my town of 60,000. Now, you might say, wow, that's a lot of people for a town that only had 60,000 before. That's a 25% increase. That is correct. So you might imagine there are some challenges with, integrating a new population, new language, new culture, new dietary preferences, all kinds of reasons why there might be growing pains.
But hey, get people here. We got jobs here. And that's what the fuck they did.
Do you have a problem with them being here?
No. Okay. I said.
Now look at that. The guy just asked, do you have a problem with them being here? But the way you framed it with them allegedly doing what you said they did at that town hall or city hall, it sounded like you had a problem. He just asked them, do you have a problem with them being here? And he said no.
If y'all gonna bring 20,000 people over here and they're not used to driving, help them drive. Teach them how to drive. Don't just bring people here and just drop them off and then they in traffic and they don't drive the correct way and y'all not doing something about it. Y'all need to make some type of procedure, help them some type of way, get a fucking driving school and get matter of fact, this is what they need to do. This is what America need to do. Since America want to get all these immigrants and bring them over here, y'all fucking a lot of shit up. Y'all need to go get, y'all got the money to do it. Go get a American orientation class. And that should go for every immigrant that come over here. Y'all need to go get an American orientation class like you do at a motherfucking job, like before you get to the floor on McDonald's, before you get onto the floor at a warehouse. And y'all get an American orientation thing and help them the correct way. Teach them how to drive. Teach them English. Fucking teach them finances, teach them do's and don'ts, teach them culture. You know what I'm saying? Teach them traffic. Do that. Get an American orientation thing before y'all try to just bring a different culture to a.
Tamika, it sure sounds like one, but this is very real, unfortunately. This is very real, unfortunately, but it does sound like
different culture, and then cultures clash, and then people don't understand shit. That's like a conquer divide and shit, and making people dislike people for no reason. And it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. They need to, I don't know, man.
Anthony, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay. Woo! Man. That was something. That was something else right there. Shout out to Rob for sending me that, because if he didn't, I would have never known that video existed. But my God. Man, people are crazy out here, y'all. People are absolutely insane out here. And yes, it's not slept on me that this guy cussed every other word. Don't be mad. But like I said, I think the thing that got me the most was that he tried to put the blame on the community because his narrative blew up in his face the way that it did, and he wasn't expecting it to go that way. I'm like, do you know what kind of narrative you put out there? That was you might as well just put raw meat in a lion's den and watch them tear that thing apart. That's literally what you did. You didn't think mainstream media wasn't going to latch onto that at any given opportunity, and they were going to take it and spin it the way that they did. How many of y'all remember when y'all was younger? Y'all probably played this game when y'all was kids. Who remembers the game Telephone? Put a one in the chat if you remember the game Telephone as a kid. Basically, you sat in a line. It was two different lines of people, and y'all say one message at the end, and you have to make sure that by the time it gets to the last person, that whatever message the first person said, they have to say it correctly. Usually 9 times out of 10, that message was convoluted and skewed. That's what happened here. So while he did get up there and say that he mentioned ducks and geese or whoever else at the park, the telephone part of it is by the time it got to 45, it went from ducks and geese to cats and dogs. That dude right there that we played right there at the end has no one else to blame but himself for that. You went and spoke at City Hall based on what you heard and not what you know. Again, the smartest thing that he could have did was he could have brought the person that he heard this from and brought them there to explain themselves in front of City Hall. But I got another question, and I don't know why I didn't think to ask that. Was there even a person that he quote unquote heard from? For all we know, as crazy as he was sounding in that video, he could have made that person up in his head. That could be his imaginary friend, for all I know. That could be the little voice floating in his head. How do we even know the person that he heard of this about even exists? I'm telling you, it is some clowns out here. Let me get to these super chats. Shout out to WeNextDSB for the 2. I appreciate it. Again, another one from DSB. Shout out to Russell Red for the 5. He said, my kids can't even get free lunch in school, and these immigrants get free food, housing, and jobs. I'm rocking with Black folks who suffer in this country. I appreciate the contribution.
You ain't got to be a dope boy to have money.
And shout out to the Church of Black Power for being a member for 3 months. He says, if I had a dime for every variation of F that this man just said, none of us would need reparations. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you for being a member for 3 months.
Welcome to the Brotherhood.
Yeah, that man was trying to beat Samuel L. Jackson's record. Versus as all of this blows up, they conveniently have a black man to blame. Hey, listen, you know what? He brought that on himself. He did. I'm sorry. He brought that on himself. He took it upon himself as a so-called influencer and decided he's going to go out there and put that out there and then get upset because it blew up in his face. What are we supposed to do with that? Really? His 15 minutes is up. His attempt at being like Kai Cenat or Duke Dennis or anyone else that he sees as a good influencer in these internet streets and these social media streets is done. Like I said when the video was playing, if he wanted to be all for his community like he claimed he was, there's other avenues he could have went in order to achieve that. Instead, he decided to be or try to be a sensationalist, and it didn't work in his favor. What he's going to fall back on besides his ass, I don't know, and I don't care. And with that being said, we are going to bring this stream to a close. Shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to everybody that contributed. Shout out to DSB for gifting all of those memberships. I appreciate that, and I'm sure they do as well. Tomorrow we will have a video, no live tomorrow. The next live will be on Friday. Friday's live will actually be on Rumble. Y'all will see that. I'll put that up as a community tab post probably the day before, so I don't have to do a pre-show about it just like I do the True Crime Sundays. But shout out to everybody that came through. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the mods, all of the members, everybody on Patreon, people on X, on Discord, on Instagram. I appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. I will talk to you in the next one. Be safe and be one.